Are you enjoying the expansion of your desire? Someday we'll ask that and you'll say yes and you'll mean it. Oh, we're just playing with you a bit here, but you will never stop being in a place where your environment no longer gives birth to something more that is wanted. And we revel in your contrast. You don't, but we do. Because we remember the plan. We remember that you were willing to expose yourself to an environment that would inspire new ideas. And we all knew at that time, before your birth into these bodies, that when that new idea was born from the contrast, that it would take a while for you to get up to speed with it, because the contrast is surrounding you. And in order for you to give birth to a new desire, you have to, in a way, assimilate all of the contrast. So by assimilating all of the contrast, the negative stuff is in there for a while, isn't it? In other words, when you know what you don't want, that's when you much more clearly know what you do want. And from the non-physical point of view, the knowing what you do want is so worth the knowing what you don't want. In other words, the expanded version of you is so worth the contrast that gives birth to it. Most humans, if you visit to them before they've had a chance to listen to our reasoning for a while, would explain to you something far different from how we see their reason for being here. Most people do not realize that you, in your human physical form, are extensions of that which is source, and that you deliberately exposed yourself in this leading edge environment to the variety for the purpose of giving you a new horizon, a new idea, a new dream, a new goal, a new purpose, a new wanting, a new, something that is more. And you knew when you made the decision to focus part of this source energy that is really you into your human form, you knew that the variety would cause constant preferences to be born from you. You knew that when there wasn't enough of something that you wanted, that you would ask for more. And you did not mean that you would ask for it with your words, because you know that all species, even those without language, are asking and being answered. You knew that even those humans who are without language because of their age or for some other reason are not asking with your words, you're asking with your vibration, you're asking with your being. Life just causes you to ask. When you are uncomfortable in your body, you want more comfort. When you don't have enough of something you want or need, you want more of it. When someone's rude, you want them to be nicer. When you are at war, you want peace. In other words, there are all kinds of things that are happening around you on global and personal levels that are causing you, as you focus with your powerful, important, unique point of view, all kinds of things that are happening within you on a daily basis, which, hear this, is causing an expansion of you. And the reason that we put it in that way so carefully is because we want you to realize that everything that you live, and therefore everything that life causes you to ask for, the larger part of you becomes it in the moment that you ask. Do you get that? Do you know that you are source energy in a physical body, and that the source energy part of you rides the rocket of desire every single time, so that when you are sick and you want to be well, the non-physical part of you is well, in fact weller than you were before you got sick. When you don't have enough money and you're banging around feeling the insecurity or discomfort of not having enough money, you are emitting constant requests for more money, and the larger part of you, and we specifically say larger part of you because it is the eternal, always present, ever full of life part of you, the source energy, soul part of you, the God force part of you. That part of you expands and stands in vibrational attention to the evolved, expanded version of you. Now, if you can hear that, if you got the essence of that, if you heard us say, your source, you come into a body, you bang around, you ask for more, and source goes to what you have asked for. If you heard that, then and only then will you understand what your emotions are about. Because your emotions are telling you in every moment the vibrational variance between this expanded version of you and what you're thinking right here and now in this moment. For example, when you think about yourself or someone else, but especially yourself, and you find fault or you feel critical of something you are or something you have done, that negative emotion you feel is your indication that you're choosing to see yourself in a way very different from who you really are and how you really see yourself. The source part of you adores you, knows your value, knows that you are in the process of expansion, and never finds reason to push against you or find fault with you. And when you do, you set up a racket in your vibration that translates into an emotion that does not feel good to you. When you see someone close up in your life, someone that you care about, or someone out in the world at a distance that you don't care so much about but that you are aware of, and you point your finger of blame at them and you condemn them for their action or for their ideology or for their thought of some kind, when you do that, that negative emotion that you feel is your indicator that while you're doing that, and you may very well have good reason to do it based upon what you have learned here in your physical environment, this person might be a true rascal, might have broken all the rules that you hold dear. But when you point your finger of blame or hatred or revenge, or when you fear them, when you feel any of those strong negative emotions, what it means every time is that there is vibrational discord between you and you. Because the source energy part of you never fears them, because the source energy part of you understands that they have nothing to do with you, and therefore you have no reason to fear. The source energy part of you never hates them, because the source energy part of you has discovered long ago that love is the true vibration of its nature. In other words, the source energy part of you will not deviate from who it is, but you, in your physical form, out here on the leading edge, may very well deviate from who you really are. And when you do, you feel some version of negative emotion. That's all your emotions are. The better you feel, the more you are being you. The worse you feel, the more you are not being you. And don't you find it interesting how when you're really, 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 really mad at someone, the reason that you're so mad at them is because you feel so bad when you turn your attention to them? It's not because they have power in your experience. The power you give them is the power you give them when you turn your attention to them, see an aspect of them you do not like, separate yourself, that's too strong a word, but it makes the point, from who you really are. And then in your separation, you feel rotten, and then you say, it's your fault. I felt a lot better before I focused on the bad thing you are doing. And we say, hear those words, before I focused upon the bad thing that you are doing. A very powerful thing to do. It will free you. In fact, it is the only place that freedom will ever come from. Freedom will only ever come when you consciously acknowledge that the way you feel is all within your power. Because what freedom is the freedom from resistance. And the freedom from resistance is the art of allowing. And the art of allowing is being a vibrational match to who you really are. The art of resistance, and some of you have made it an art, is not being in alignment with who you are. So when you are in alignment with who you are, when you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, that is where freedom is. The freedom to flow, the freedom to be the full essence of who you really are. We've written a book, several, but one that has an impeccable title. Best title of any book, anytime, anywhere. Ever. Now, then, or forever. There will never be a better title. Oh, there will be. But for now, it's the best one. Ask and it is given. And what that says is, when I, from my non-physical standpoint, express myself into physical form, and in my physical form, I explore the contrast which gives birth to my idea of an improved, expanded life. The source energy part of me rides that rocket of desire and becomes the vibrational equivalent of that expanded, improved life, and holds steady to that vibration. That's ask and it is given. Not only, we've already thought of a better title. Not only when I ask is it given, but when I ask, the source energy part of me becomes the vibrational embodiment of that which I've asked for, and then calls me endlessly toward it. This title's getting too long, isn't it? But then, I must be vibrationally up to speed with what I'm asking for. And if I pay attention, much too long, if I pay attention to the way I'm feeling, and I deliberately reach for thoughts that feel good, I will then be in vibrational alignment with what my life has caused me to ask for. And when I am in vibrational alignment with what my life has caused me to ask for, now the physical tenets of my physical life must morph into that new, improved version that the contrast gave birth to, that the source energy knew immediately, that all of the resources of the universe helped, and that I found vibrational alignment with. And so now I see that I have asked, and indeed it was given, and now I have come into vibrational alignment with it, and now I am living the fulfillment of what I asked for and what was given, because I now understand the art of allowing. Much better title. So you get the sense of this. You are more than you, most of you, know that you are. You are source in a physical body. And whether you know it or not, that source part of you is expanding through your life experience. And if you don't keep up with the expansion, you feel rotten. And when you do keep up with the expansion, you feel wonderful. The better you feel, the more you're keeping up with who you've become. And we really want to put it to you in a blunt, clear way. You got to keep up if you want to feel good. You got to keep up. You got to keep up to speed. So what does that mean? I must keep up to speed with who I am. Well, it means that when life causes you to ask for something, you've got to get yourself into a place of expecting it, or you're going to feel crummy. Because you know what? You can't take it back. You can't say, oh, never mind. So you're banging around, someone's rude. You send off a rocket of desire. I want people to be nicer. You're banging around, you're rude. You send out a rocket. I want to be nicer. So now you know what happened? Your life has caused you to launch those rockets. You can't say, never mind, I don't want to be nicer. You can't say, never mind, I don't care if they're not nice. Once life causes you to launch that rocket, you've only got one choice. You've got to get up to speed with that request. Once life has caused you to ask for more money, you can't say, never mind, I didn't mean it. You did mean it. You can't say, I think I will take back my physical human experience and I will morph back into something that I was before. I would like to retract my vibrational request, and I would like all of the universe that is actualized around it to retract it as well. In fact, the universe has expanded because of my banging around and giving birth to new desire, but I take it all back. I want the universe to shrink a little bit because I don't really mean it, because I don't have the ability to turn my attention to what I do want because I'm so enamored by banging on the drum of what I don't want. So I take it back. And Source says, can't do it. You already said you wanted it, and we're already over here living it, so you've got no choice but to come over here to where you sent us. And if you don't come over here to where you sent us, you will feel uncomfortable. You got to come. You got to go with the flow that you set into motion. You don't have to go with the flow that somebody else set into motion. Isn't that good to know? Don't tell them. They won't like hearing it. Many people like bossing you around. Many people who haven't learned about their own vibration and the way law of attraction responds to it, who are just looking around at things and having emotional responses to what they see. There are a lot of people who see conditions that make them feel better, so they say, I'm going to demand more conditions like that. And when they see conditions that cause them to feel bad, they say, and I'm going to deny anything like that will ever happen. We will get policemen. We will put laws in place. We'll get enforcers and armies and bombs, and we will make the people behave as I need them to behave so that I can feel better. And we say, might have been a good plan if everybody agreed with you. But they hardly ever do.